Hey guys, what's going on? So, one big difference that I've noticed between living in Thailand and living in the US, between those populations in general, is the way they approach, the way they think about work. Work, it's quite an essential thing. You do it every day. So, I guess it's going to be one of those things that comes up often. I haven't worked in the US for, since I was a university student about 12 years ago. And I've been living in Thailand, like, let's say, the last 7 or 8 years. So, that's just for context. As of recently, I'm much more used to the Thai style of things just because naturally, I've been living there. And when I came back this summer, there was one day we're at a meeting and I noticed myself saying this twice. So I know it wasn't just a one off. It's kind of like a pattern or a recurring thing is that people in the US, we could just say American people, they stress about a lot of things. They're very stressed out. For one reason or another, it could be a combination of things, but it's also the way and the manner in which they approach work and how they think about it, and I guess how attached they are to it. So I want to talk a little bit more about this, cultural nuance, cultural difference between working, in Thailand with Thai people and working in the U.S. with American people. I'll give you a couple clear examples just so that way it can be more solidified. Now, when I said, this thing I was alluding to that I said twice, what I said was, oh, I didn't think it was a big deal. So in a meeting that came up twice. The first time was because someone asked me to send them a phone number. Actually, they didn't even ask me. I proactively sent a phone number to someone just in case they needed it. And I was going to lunch. I took a screenshot and I sent it. And this was like to my manager, right? So it's not like someone who I can just ignore. And then when I came back to my phone, it must have been about an hour or so later, I saw like messages and I saw multiple missed calls. I saw not one, not two, but three missed calls. And I thought, wow, something serious must have happened. Like I can't remember the last time I called someone three times. I was explaining this to someone. I will call someone if they don't answer, no big deal. If it's important and I think they are available to actually answer, maybe I'll try calling twice, but I cannot remember the last time I called someone three times in a row. It would have to be a serious emergency, like, I don't know, some sort of, maybe not in life or death, but a serious, like a physical injury, like something very urgent. So the fact that this person called me three times over this tiny issue to me was astounding. And I just thought, like, when I saw that, it made me a little bit stressed out because, if you get three missed calls, it must be something important, right? And then I come to find out that the screenshot I sent, which had the phone number in it, my boss wanted me to type that out into a message so that way they could simply click it on their phone and call right away. Now, to me, in my mind, I thought, why do you need to call right away? What's so urgent? If you're driving, people will know, hey, okay, you couldn't be on the phone, you couldn't call me. That's why it took, a little bit extra long. And this person, they were about 15 minutes away from the destination. So let's just say I didn't send it. There's a 15-minute delay. This person, they get to where they're going, and then they can just look at the screenshot I sent and type it out. But it was so urgent that I type it out so that way they could click it as they're driving, that this person called me three times and sent multiple other messages. And I thought to myself, you shouldn't even really be texting when you're driving. You shouldn't really be on the phone, maybe just the GPS. So that's just one example of like how they were just completely way more stressed out than I expected. So that's one. Another one, here's another one. Another manager person that I was working with, there was we got some feedback from a student, and I received the call, so I just wanted to share the feedback. And I said, hey, for this next trip that we do to the airport, we're dropping someone off at the airport. The parent said they just wanted to know, what time the bus is leaving, so that way, their student isn't, waiting too long at the airport, because they said, the first time that their student was waiting a couple hours. I said that I put it out there because, if someone calls with feedback, you should share it right amongst the team. And I didn't think anything of it. But when I passed that information, like the person I'm working with, my manager, she was like, "What? Really? They were waiting for 2 hours?" Like they couldn't believe it. Like they wanted to go and check. So they went to go look at the bus schedule. They went to go look at like the arrival time of that student on that day. They went to go check with the person who was at the airport on that day, and they wanted to compare the times and like review it and see how feasible that was that they were waiting that long. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I thought, no, no, the parent, they're not upset. They wanted to follow up just to, kind of make sure it doesn't happen again or to avoid it. Like, relax, it's okay. So it wasn't a huge deal by any means, but it seemed like it caused some stress on that person's behalf. I thought to myself, if I was in Thailand, like, and I sent a screenshot to someone with the phone number on it, they wouldn't even check it till they arrive at the destination, perhaps. I mean, maybe if they got to a red light, it has the number in it. All you have to do is look at it, and then you can type it out yourself if you really need to, if it's urgent, but nothing's really that urgent, 99.99% of the time. So that would have been a non-issue. The other one with the feedback from it was light feedback from the parent. Again, it would have just been like, oh, I see. Okay, we'll make sure that, on the drop off or the next time around, it's not so long. And that would have been it. That's my impression of, working in Thailand, working with Thai people. Neither of those situations would have blown up. I would not have gotten multiple 3 missed calls in a row and multiple messages and, causing some minor anxiety with that first situation or example. And then with the second example, it would have just been brushed off. I mean, it would have been acknowledged, but it wouldn't have been like something where you need to go like checking records and files and cross checking with other people and things. So I just found that surprising. And that was, the thought that I had when I was in this meeting. There was some other examples and stuff too that came up, but those are two that I could just think of off the top of my head. I will say there is a disadvantage to working in Thailand because they're actually too relaxed, and everything is really slow. So I can see how it's like a double-edged thing. But the thing I will say is that I don't get nearly as stressed out as other American people when it comes to work. The problem you have in Thailand is that people are so unstressed out that they lose conviction about their work, and the quality of their work suffers. They have no conviction. They don't care if it's late, if it's not done well. On the other hand, when you have someone like people in the U.S., they have a lot of conviction. They want to do a good job, and they think it, reflects on them personally. Since they're taking it personally, since they see it as kind of an expression of themselves, they're much more likely to get stressed out about it. I think the best thing you can do, well, the best thing that I've been doing is definitely in between. I have conviction and I'm able to do the job properly, thoroughly, and, completely, but I don't stress out about it. If something happens, then I'll just let it go. And conversely, like I said, when it comes to working in Thailand, I'm not so relaxed about it that I don't do a good job, that I'm more concerned about, my leisure or an extra 5 minutes, that things slip through the cracks. So that is the observation that I've had working with American people recently, and then, living in Thailand and absorbing that culture and that work culture the last several years. So let me know what you guys think, especially if you have any experience in Thailand. If you have some, interesting stories. I kind of like to talk about, culture and cultural differences, when I get the chance, especially with friends, and maybe not so much on these videos that I've made on the channel, but it's always something that's, eternally interesting to me, just how different civilizations, different cultures, different populations arrive at these different mindsets. Why is it that the average American person is so stressed out and makes a big deal about little things, or what I would consider non-issues, or, some people like to call nothing burgers in the US? And on the other hand, you have people in Thailand. How is that population, civilization, whatever you want to call it, arrived at a point where they're so relaxed about everything? You can have a big deal going on and they kind of still think, oh, it's fine, we'll worry about it tomorrow. Or they definitely minimize the importance of many things. Punctuality is not a big deal. I'm sure this does not only happen in the US. I'm citing the US because that's an example, a country that I'm intimately familiar with. I was born here, and I came back recently in the summer to do some work. So yeah, definitely share if you guys have any other examples, and if you have any other things that you want me to share, perhaps concerning the similarities or differences between the US and Thailand. Because yeah, this is my old home, and I feel like Thailand's gonna be my new home. I'm applying for a permanent residency, aka green card, soon. So that's where we're going. Let's see, any comments in here? Nice stream. I've subscribed. You know that calling so many times brings stress. Yeah, definitely. As soon as I saw the phone, I just, and when you get so many calls from your boss, it's like, of all people. If I got calls from my friend, it'd be like, whatever, I can call him back later. But yeah, you don't want a bunch of calls from your boss. So that in itself brings stress. And the fact that she was on the line calling, like she was in a stressed out mode herself, mindset herself, when you call someone that many times about something so tiny. You give a great point. People should be more relaxed. Appreciate it. I wonder where you guys are living, by the way, what countries you live in, how the culture is different there as compared to US and or Thailand. Yes, good example. Like in Norway, here we are much relaxed. Interesting, interesting. I would have thought in more developed economies and societies that people tend to be more stressed out because you have like things are more reliable. You have a higher obligation to do things correctly. So it's interesting to hear that in Norway they're both highly productive, efficient, reliable, etc., and at the same time relaxed. That sounds quite nice. What else we got here? You're very right. That students should be more honest. No way 2 hour wait. Dude, you're right. I mean, USA is so stressed out. Like in Thailand, or even Norway, life is so relaxed. Yes, it is very stressed out here, and that's why I tell my friends and family. I don't know. I just feel like parts of the lifestyle living here in the US are overrated. The money is good, but other things like your quality of life or the lifestyle, it's yeah, debatable at best. Thailand is a great place to relax. I think in Norway, we love Thai people. They're amazing and kind people. So Norwegian people, from my impression, they know what's up because percentage-wise or as a proportion, I see a lot more Scandinavian people and definitely Norwegian people in Thailand. So like it's well known and they know about it. They have direct flights and stuff. Speaking of direct flights, can you believe in a country as big as the US, 330 something million people, there are no direct flights to Thailand. And that is an indicator of how not well traversed, how not well discovered Thailand is to American people if you don't even have a direct flight from the West Coast, like California, to Thailand for whatever reason. But let's see. So, yeah, Norway doing it right. Any other comments I want to go through? Sorry, don't write any comment. I live in Norway is the rich. But the thing is that everyone getting interesting, interesting. Yeah, I know a little bit about Norway's system. They try to make things a little bit more neutralized there, which, anyways, that's a different time. But I have some friends who live there and other people I've talked to about it. But hey, that's what I wanted to share for today, guys. Y'all take care. Here in the US, just for like another month or so, and then I will be back in Thailand, my new home. I'm so looking forward to it. You guys know once you book the ticket to Thailand and you're doing the countdown and it gets like below 30, it's all excitement and anticipation. All right, guys, let's leave it there. Hey, thanks for commenting, Hem Sadal Best. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.